of your business. So please do not think that if you practice, if you put in place one, it will be enough. Only those three all together practiced by you, who will be a model as a CEO, as a chairman, as a general director, whatever title you will have in your company. Remember, you are models for others. Even on the online business, like myself and my business partners have, or had for me in the past tense, we still have the employees. We still have people working from those from homes to help us running the business. We were still the models. Our values, our personalities, our traits of the characters created a small culture for the entire company. Doesn't matter that it was online. Not just the real company, with the headquarters and etc. Guiding values. I'll go pretty fast through it because Mrs. Nazifa is already looking at me, and I still have a number of things. So let me just go very fast without any particular comments to it. You can read it. Bravery, vision. You have to have this vision and mission driving you. One of the first things when you will be writing your business plan, you have to create vision and mission for your company, for your business. Respect for self and for others. Trust, extremely important. Because you consider it reliable, you have the understanding, you have the empathy, you have the compassion for others, including your employees. Honesty, generosity, and fortitude. Well, fortitude comes from, and I put it here because I think in the case of my business partners and myself, consistency, perseverance, persistence, and we were realistic. We knew that we're not gonna grow with just the two of us in a matter of months and get, thousands of dollars of profit. We did not. We basically, and this is an honest statement, we basically used to the zero all of our savings, and at one point we needed more, and we did not want to go for the bank loans in our case, so we went and borrowed from the family and friends to keep us going. Okay, obviously, later on returning the loan. A few top challenges. If you think that whatever you do with all of those fundamentals, that everything will work out and there will be everything, flowing smoothly, you are in a dreamland. Remember, every business, everything what we creating, is not only in our control. There are forces outside of control of us, which will affect either positively or negatively, usually in a negative way, unfortunately, the growth or even the existence of the business itself. So I mentioned a few challenges, which, again, from the personal experience, and I think, many startups are facing this, is a cash flow management. Okay, you have to have a proper budgeting, realistic one, and planning, and looking for the ways, if you need to borrow the money, in such a way that it will not eat too much into the profits when you start making them and you need to repay to the people or to the bank. Hiring of employees. It is very difficult because, when you have the hiring interviews, very, very often people are very good actors, I can call it this way. Some of the hiring interviews are very predictable. We're repeating the same questions, so people are very well prepared. You have to get to know the people. So what I do, for example, including even now, of course I am in a private business, but I am not an owner of that business, First thing I do is I never look at the beginning at people's CV. I think, people can put there almost anything, and in a beautiful language, not necessarily even by themselves. So I look at them later on, maybe. But I talk to people about their values. I give them the case studies, say me, in this situation, could you please tell me what would you do? I take them for the tour of my institution. I let them sit and meet with my member of my senior management team. Okay, and only then we can, as close as possible, get the feeling if this person really fits to our vision, to our goal, to our objectives, and what is more important, to our values, which create the culture of the institution or of my personal business. Time management, planning. You spend hours, days and nights doing this. Remember, not all urgent is important and opposite. Okay, and that's probably the best people who can always figure it out are people who are coming already as an education from the business field, particularly from the leadership, when you have to make those decisions on the spot. And sometimes we will think something is urgent, but it turns out it is not important that much for the institution, for your business at that very time. Delegating tasks. Isn't that challenging? I don't know if you are like me. It took me quite a time and a lot of training in leadership when I actually started saying, okay, let this person do that. I was killing myself, basically, doing everything on my own, thinking wrongly that I am the best person to do that. It is not the right thing. You are not. You do have a good people who you can trust, after whom you can follow up if you need to, and they can do a lot of very important tasks and job for you. And then you can spend time on marketing yourself, on keeping your client base, of researching what is coming and how your service or your products needs to keep on changing, because it cannot be static. To be competitive, it has to be changing and evolving. Marketing strategy. Some of us know how to do it because, again, we come from the business field, so we have either modules or we're going into the marketing as a part of the business. But majority of us are not. My advice is, if you don't have enough financial resources to get a marketing agency or marketing individual to do it for you, at least at the very beginning, then use the people, listen to friends, listen to the family, listen to the clients, and try to figure it out your own marketing strategy. It is not rocket science, honestly. You can do that. You can do it at the beginning on your own. Later on, when you grow, in my opinion, you do need professionals. You will need either staff member or a marketing agency, particularly for the digital marketing, who will be helping you with that. And first, then, of course, the capital, the money. If you think that you can start anything, any business, any startup on a shoestring budget, this is really a dream. It will never come true, okay? Everything costs. Registration of the companies, opening the bank accounts, printing stationeries, developing your own stamp. I'm talking about the basics. I'm not even talking about the marketing per se. All of this costs money. So be prepared that, if you don't have enough of your own savings and resources, go to the friends, go to the banks, go to the Kickstarter campaigns. I don't know if Pakistans have it. It is quite popular in the United States for the startups. And of course, incubators. Many incubators do provide stipends or grants or whatever you call it for the new company. Limited budget. Again, you know, prioritize everything. All your costs, all your marketing strategy with efficiency. Spend the money when it works the best, okay? And always have a little pot, something on the side, what it's called for the operating expenses. Obviously, you know, you will be rating, you know, what those every day, every month, you know, operating expenses are, which will never disappear because those bills you will have to pay. The loans have to be repaid almost, if you don't negotiate different deal, they are kicking in after 1 month, you know, and you have to start paying it back. And to gain all of those insights, do network with as many as possible young and experienced entrepreneurs of all ages. Remember, this has nothing, when we're saying young entrepreneurs, it doesn't mean university students. These are the people in their 60s who open their own businesses as well. Business growth, create processes in the among you know, in your institution, and the most important, you know, delegate. So you have more time really to look into the strategic planning and growth of the company. We all had it. Number 9, I don't know why did I put it at the very end, because honestly, in my case and the case of my business partner, we had it pretty high on happening for us. This is a self-doubt. You know, there will be those nights, particularly, not just days, there will be the nights when you wake up in the middle of the night and say, what on earth am I doing? I'm just losing it, nothing actually is happening, I have all of those challenges, only 1 or 2 things are actually working, is it worth it? And you know, it is good to ask those kind of questions as long as you don't start panic about them. Because the panic will kill everything and you will basically say, okay, I'm not gonna do it. So definitely you need a support system of people who believe in you. This is the most important thing. Could it be family, friends, you know, sometimes, you know, people we met randomly and, you know, we feel very good, you know, talking to them about our anxieties and our problems. You know, this support system will give you this positive saying, okay, you know, let me keep on going maybe for another year and let's see what happens, okay? At least like this. If not, say, no, I'm doing the right thing. This is my lifetime dream. This is what I want to do for myself and my family, and I'm gonna keep on going. Oops, I think I got the wrong one. Successful entrepreneurs, they do have the characteristics, and this particular part is basically from the research. Self-motivation. Unless you really believe in yourself and you know you want to do it, the passion you have for that, and you want this passion to be also shared by others, this is extremely important. Understand what you offer and how it fits into the market. Again, you know, those niche, the product which you want to either improve or offer the new one. Taking risks. Something which is called, and it's sometimes misleading, but it does have a sense. What we call it a calculated risks. You look, you know, some of us, and this is what I did, you know, for myself, even without my business partner, I put pros and cons as a list, okay? And then I start scratching, you know, taking it off, scratching it off, the ones which were cons, because I was saying, no, actually it can work, okay? So, taking the risk is always will be there. The whole idea and the dream of a private enterprise is a risk taking. So you need to be ready with that and take the consequences. Know how to network, we talked about that already. Basic management skills and knowledge, okay? Knowledge of planning, of strategic planning, and the skills, well, I mentioned one of the extremely important skills, but there are two which I will put on the top, is listening. You have to learn how to listen. Listen to your staff, to your business partners, and to your clients, okay? And to whom also? To your competitors. Listen very carefully. Then, of course, effective communication. This is absolutely, people's skills are absolutely necessary for any private business to succeed. Flexibility, things will be changing. You will have to amend your plans, maybe not change completely, but there will be some edits, different ways, different partners included. Don't take it as a challenge, only take it basically as a way of developing and of a growth. And last one, but should be number one, is a passion. This passion and the self-motivation, these are your engines. This is what keeps you going, including those, middle of the night self-doubts, which I guarantee you, every one of you will have, because this is a normal way of dealing with an unknown. So, what are the first things? Here is my extensive list. But I think this list is basic, and I truly really believe in this. And I hope that this is the first summit or conference I'm attending on the topic of entrepreneurship, that actually something positive, action, initiative, blueprint will be developed, okay? Because there are a lot of things I attended. They were wonderful networking opportunities. I learned a lot, but for the society, a country, nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. It's just the individual growth, which is important, but again, it does not produce the results we all want to know for everybody else. So, entrepreneurship in schools, a totally forgotten, I think, by everyone except the stakeholders, means the schools themselves, the idea that entrepreneurship needs to be introduced in the schools. And I will go as early as 8th graders, okay? Prepare them for what it might be, for what it is, show them those basics, practice with them those basics as well. So by the time they graduate into the university, you know what? They already have a plan, and some of those plans will be realized and will be successful. Practical experience included in curriculum. A total reform of the curriculum when the practical experience doing, creating, innovating, trying it out is part of the curriculum, not an elective, like it is in some of the schools, including mine. It is a mandatory, important subject. Close cooperation on projects between the schools and universities, mini incubators center in the schools, not at the universities only, we can do it. Universities can be very helpful for that. Bank loans, we need financial help on no or low rates. Pakistan version of LinkedIn for different sectors of startups. We don't have it. The international LinkedIn, which many of us, and I'm sure many of you already belong, this is too huge volume, too general, too much spread it out. I'm not saying stop being members of that, absolutely not. But in my opinion, we need for the startups our own here. Buy fields, so that people really can share information, give each other support. Change in internships. I think the internships we have in Pakistan for the school children are useless. I do send my students to all of those institutions, but what do they do there when you ask them, okay, you can, they do it because they need it for the university applications, let's be honest, okay? Practically, nothing is really happening. They don't learn much. I'm not saying they don't learn anything, that's wrong. They learn some of the teamwork, they observe how in medical profession, if this is what they want to do, how is it actually working. So yes, there is a learning experience there. But what should happen is, what one of my students in grade 10, now in grade 11, experienced when he went to Brandeis University in Boston, in Massachusetts, this summer. He went for 1 month to a gathering of youth from the high schools, okay, when they were put in the groups of 6 and they had to develop an app, an application, okay, but an app, not the theoretical one, no one will, use it ever, something which could be useful. Once they did that, the people from Google came, sat with them, listen to presentation, so remember, presentation skills, they had to learn this one. The groups made a presentation on the apps, and the Google people gave them the feedback. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? How can you do it better? This is the internship type which we needed in here for our kids coming from the schools. Development services and products at organizations offering them. So, even in among the existing organizations, we can have startups, from the employee or group of employees who come up with some kind of the innovation or creative approach, and this should be also recognized and should be acknowledged. I think the last thing which I want to share you, and it will be something which I feel I would like to, everyone here, and maybe you can spread it out, to consider. A prototype, I'm not saying the incubators here are not doing a great job, they are, but